Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining the session. I hope it's been a really enjoyable career day so far, and I'm very excited that we now have a session with Tuffias Sandberg. So thank you so much to Sarah and Megan for joining us this afternoon. I'm going to hand over to them in just a moment, but just to say, if you have questions during the session, please feel free to raise those. They are here to help you and to give you information as you are exploring your options to qualify and to do articles. There is a Q&A function. There's the chat function that you can also pop a question in. And towards the end of the session, there'll be an opportunity to raise your hand and ask any questions you may have. So yes, very engaging session. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for being here, to Sarah and Megan. And over to you, Sarah. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us today. As Tracy said, my name is Sarah, and I am actually currently a third-year trainee at Tuffias Sandberg. So we call ourselves ARCs. So I'm an auditor in charge. I'm actually about to get signed off. I've been here for 3 years, and I've loved it. I think the number one goal at Tuffias is to get kind of one of us to talk about our experience and how it's been throughout our 3 years. I think that's why they asked me to be here today. So just a little bit more about Tuffias. We are a medium-sized audit firm. We offer cycle articles. We are looking into CIMA and ACCA in the next few years. I've actually also did my CIMA studies through Tuffias Sandberg, so we also offer that, obviously, with doing your psych articles at the moment, because we don't offer CIMA articles as of yet, but we do offer our psych articles. So we are based in Greenstone, Edenvale area, and what I like to say about a medium-sized audit firm is we provide experience into different industries. So if you find at a bigger sized audit firm, you will actually only gain experience in one industry. We have drafting experience, we have tax returns experience, and we have a lot of manufacturing experience, retail experience. I got to run the Calvin Klein audit for 2 years, so that was, I think, one of my moments in this journey of doing articles that I really enjoyed, and kind of being on the other side of that. So that was a really nice opportunity to get that. So we do have really big clients, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is you think that you're going to get exposure in a bigger firm, whereas I would feel you get more exposure into a small, medium-sized firm. The other things we do offer is that because a lot of our trainees are still studying, so they're still students, I would say about 80% of our trainees are still doing their CTA or BCTA. So we do offer, if you want to study part-time and work full-time, so we actually do provide a lot of benefits regarding that. So we have 19-day study leave a year, which when I came here, it was something that sold me, because you don't get that many study leave days at many other places. So that is amazing. We also only have a 4.5-day week. So on a Friday, everyone's gone home now. At 1 p.m. we all close our laptops and we go home. So this is very weird for me to be at work this time, but I'm here to tell you guys more about that. So I like to call it a 2.5-day weekend, because it really does help. I mean, I think what happens is Tuffias understands that, you're not an employee, you're a trainee. And obviously you have a life and you have to study. So we understand that we don't want you working overtime, that you're not just here to, work on audits, you're here to train and get experience for psych articles. So I always say that when I'm at a career fair, as I say, remember, you're not an employee, you're a trainee. You have to you're offering work to the firm and they are offering you training. So just remember that you need that time to study and do your board exams and everything like that. So we actually offer a lot of benefits in that sense. We also do in-house training. So that means that we don't just go and buy training videos and make you watch them. We give in-house training. So we actually have a quality control department who actually plans every Friday. So every last Friday of the month, we have we call it admin day, where we come in like just our jeans and our Tuffias golf shirt. And the company buys us, it's usually pizza, but they change it up every now and then. So we get pizza and some drinks, and then we get 1 hour training, and then we also get time to do our competencies for SAICA, because they understand you don't have time to do all of that admin work during the month, because audit, studies, everything like that. So they actually give us about an hour and a half to do that. We also do evaluations based on staff, so it's all anonymous. So if you have any issues or things like that, you have your evaluations on the staff. That is the one thing. Also, you'll be provided a mentor, which we have a mentor program, which I love as well. It's probably one of my favorite things about Tuffias. You will be assigned a mentor who has gone through articles. So it's usually a manager or a senior manager who is assigned to you. So every last Friday of the month on admin day, you will have a mentor meeting. So it's obviously that's between you and your mentor. Nothing gets, if you just want to have kind of like a therapy session and just talk and just kind of have a better understanding, just vent and things like that, they are there for you. But also if you have any concerns or something, obviously the next month will be planned accordingly. So if you say, I have so much studying to do in the next month and I don't really want to be on a hectic, tight audit deadline where I can't have time to study, that will be taken into account in the next month. And then obviously within the next mentor meeting, you can discuss other concerns or issues you had. But it's all confidential. That was the word I was trying to look for. So that is something I have loved about it. And also they make sure that you meet your competencies, which is also amazing, because usually my experience when I was at a prior firm to this, they just say, you have to make sure you meet your SAICA competencies. Whereas when I came here, there was actually someone assigned to me to guide me and make sure. So she would come to me and say, I see you're still lacking in getting competencies for tax returns. So she would be like, let's go and ask a partner to get you a tax return to get those competencies. So it's just nice to kind of have that support, especially from someone who knows how hectic it can be, how, you must make sure you keep they're consistent and everything like that. Because, I'm sure you guys don't even know exactly what is put into that. So, no one does coming into it. That being said, we actually do have a 3-week induction program. So it's a really nice induction program. We actually have firm templates. So we do like a little session to show you what it would be like on an audit. So that's also really nice. I was actually we have a temporary position. So it's a 3-month position called the quality control assistant. So I was actually in that in my second year, which was amazing. So I actually got to present and train all the new trainees coming in February of that year, which was really nice because it was great experience to have. So I was one of the assistants who helped with all of those trainings. But we don't expect you guys to know anything. We teach you basic Excel, we teach you advanced Excel, we teach you caseware, we even teach you email etiquette. So you guys don't have to. I think that was one of the scariest things coming into my first job was everyone's like, you use so much Excel, and I was like, okay, maybe I should do an Excel course. We don't expect you guys to do that. If you guys want to do it for your own purposes, great, but you will be taught everything you need to know in the first 3 weeks, and of course on audits. You'll also be assigned an ARC, auditor in charge, where on your first year of articles. So we don't expect you to be doing things alone. You won't be given significant risk sections, everything like that. We also provide a VAC program. So I believe Megan said the first 2 weeks in July is Mill Park. I believe you guys are off on holiday then. So it's the first 2 weeks in July we have VAC work. We do it a little differently to if you've ever done other work at other places. We actually have it over 5 days where we actually provide you a laptop. On the first day, we'll actually teach you some basic Excel skills, show you around caseware, what audit is about. And then on the Tuesday, you'll be sent on an audit to an actual client. So we actually send you with an ARC to shadow, kind of job shadow the ARC. So you'll actually go to the clients. We actually do pay you a little bit for that week, I believe, for traveling, because obviously you're going to be traveling to the client. So it's kind of like a little version of an audit. So you can kind of understand what's going on instead of us just telling you what it's like. And you can actually physically see what it's like. We actually will give you a little section on the audit. We'll introduce you to the clients. We will take you around to show you what questions we ask, everything like that. We don't expect you to obviously know exactly what you're doing. It's really just for you to get an understanding, for you to ask the ARC some questions, and yeah, so that's also really nice. And then on the Friday, we have like a little bit, we call it a speed coffee. So like speed dating, but we have the speed coffee where we get a senior manager, a partner, a third year, and I believe a second year trainee, just so you get a variety of different levels in our firm. And we do a little bit of a speed coffee. So it's like, I believe it's 10 minutes and you can ask questions and then you switch to the next person just to get an understanding. We've had such good feedback with our VAC work. That's usually about 80% of the students actually end up signing with us because we always say Tuffias is a feeling. You can't really explain it. So it's something you kind of have to experience to understand that we are a big family and we really big on it, making sure you fit with us. So we actually, our partners are always involved in making sure that we pick the right people for our firm. So that is our VAC work. Is usually one of the first questions that students ask us. So we do have a really nice VAC work program. But yes, I think that's about it. I don't know if I've left anything out, but if you have any questions, please let us know. And you can raise your hand. Does anyone have any questions about what articles entails or anything like that? Because I know that's always something. Please don't be scared to ask. I didn't know what articles was about when I first started. So, I mean, I'm currently in it. So please don't be shy. We do not have hybrid working environment. I see a message there. So that's also another thing is I was in a hybrid working environment before Tuffias, and the one thing I can tell you now is, as training, as you're a trainee, you have to make sure that you're sitting with someone, like shadowing someone, or you're not going to really learn very well. I've learned so much more coming into office, being able to have seniors around me, being able to ask questions. It's much more difficult when you're doing it on a Teams call or trying to get a hold of one of your managers. So as I said, remember, you're not an employee, you're a trainee. So you want to be trained and you want to do it. It's much more quality in person. So that's something I've learned over time, if that makes sense. VAC work, you can go onto our website. So if you just look up Tuffias Sandberg, I believe Megan will be putting up a link as well. Yes, of course, BCTA students, CTA students. We even accept second and third year students who are doing the undergrad. It really is just, we just take a look into, we ask you for more information to send to us, and then we will obviously contact you regarding if you need, we obviously only take a certain amount, so we will obviously look into everyone and make sure that we take in the people that kind of fit in with our kind of values and what we want to bring into Tuffias. We just look at, like, so if someone asks them, if you haven't gotten your marks yet, how can we consider you for that work? It's more, we don't need, I believe it's just, we'll ask you for your results beforehand in your undergrad, and just see what's your CV and everything like that, and then we'll take into any information you do have into account. Would you recommend doing articles at a smaller firm? Yes. There's obviously, it really just depends on what you want. I know a lot of people enjoy the pressure and the hustle and everything like that of a bigger firm. Some people, but you also remember, in a smaller firm, there's only so many people in a smaller firm, so it also can be really, crazy and getting things done. So that's what I kind of like a medium ground as a medium-sized firm, is that we've got around 80 trainees. So it's not like a small firm. Usually, like a small firm would be between 5 to 15 trainees. So so we're not like 300 trainees, but we're also not like 10 to 15 trainees. So it's a good combination between the two, but you're also getting that full experience and of multiple industries. I don't know. We don't do any IT audit. I see Megan has answered that. Also, we don't, with articles, we have applications open from 2026 to 2030. So if you even want to apply, say you want to finish your studies first, you're welcome to apply 2027, 2028. So, and then sign with us for those years. So we do have applications open for that. So don't worry about that. I don't know about the studies, but I know that depending on your studies, it depends how, I think Megan will know more about how that works. But we do offer, if you want to study part-time, usually we state that as long as you're studying to become a CASA, so I believe that's in our contracts to state that we have to continue studying to become a CASA and be making advances in our studies so much within a year. So that's usually how we look at it. But I don't know exactly if you can full or half-time load. We're currently looking into funding. It's something the partners are discussing, because that is a question we did get a lot. We don't currently offer ACCA articles as yet. We are looking into it, as well as SEMA. We've had 3 trainees doing SEMA now, so we are looking into it because it's becoming much more popular now. I just passed my SEMA, so that's something. And then obviously I'm going to still be doing CASA and doing my APC. So the nice thing is, in the last couple of years, there's so many different options now. When I first started, it was like CA or nothing. But yeah, the nice thing is there is like many more kind of opportunities arising. I did see a hand there. Someone asking a question. No. The other point I also wanted to hear a lot is that a lot of people say to us, but I want to have a bigger, larger firm on my CV for when I'm done my training contract, because it looks good on your CV. But I like to say, use the example of, if you decide to go into, let's say you only get put into one industry for let's say, the retail industry for the next 3 years, which is going to happen in a bigger firm, and you now decide you want to go in a manufacturing industry and you got a job interview. Let's say you go into the job interview and they say to you, okay, do you have experience drafting financials? You're going to say no, because you don't draft financials in bigger firms. They're going to say, okay, we want you to do our taxes. Do you have experience doing tax returns? You're going to say no, because you don't. They have their own tax departments in bigger firms. They're going to say, okay, do you have experience in the industry, in the manufacturing industry? Do you know how to do work in progress? Do you know how to, do contract accounting and everything like that? And you're going to say, no, I've only done retail. So then they're going to consider someone who has that experience. So you have to consider the fact of what experience do you have. So that's something I always like to use an example of. So to something that you should think of. So I hope that helps. I usually do use that example, and students usually say that it makes you think in a different way. I love drafting. It's something I think if I went to a bigger firm, I wouldn't have known that I enjoyed it, because I wouldn't have done it. So it's something I really enjoy, is drafting financials. You feel like it's like that final result of an audit and drafting financials at the end, and getting that experience is really nice, and seeing how it all gets put together. It's very interesting. And of course also tax returns. I think that helped with my individual tax returns too, is kind of understanding how it all plays into the way tax works. We start at 8 a.m. in the morning. So obviously it depends on what client you go to. Some clients start earlier, some clients end later. So we obviously we just adjust accordingly as what clients we go to. So, but if you're at the office, it's 8 to 5 with a 1 hour lunch break at 1 p.m. and then 1 p.m. on a Friday. Unless it's admin day, then admin day we go home at 2. Yeah, but it's not really a work day. It's a fun catch-up day. If you've gone and done articles at another firm, have you completed your articles already, or are you? Because we do, if you've completed your articles, we do obviously have positions open for managers and everything like that. So you're definitely welcome to apply for positions like that. Or if you haven't completed your articles as yet, you can definitely come and apply for that. Is the money good? So we have actually in the last couple of years, they've looked at our salaries, and we've become much more market related and competitive in that sense. So definitely around market related, definitely. We are obviously recruiting people who are wanting to do their articles. So if you have kind of done 1 or 2 years and you want to come and do it, you obviously will have a 6-month penalty if you haven't completed your full articles at the first firm. But we do have a lot of our trainees who have come through to us from other firms. But we have, I believe, positions open for audit managers and things like that. So you're definitely welcome to apply for those. No, if you have only done a 1 year of articles and you would love to carry on, and even if you want to study part-time and do articles, we definitely have that opportunity. And that's something also really nice, is that we don't just limit it to if you are done with your CTA. We actually do provide articles while you're studying. So and also it's not a problem if you did start somewhere else. I mean, I started at a firm before this, and it didn't work out, so I came to Tuffias. So best decision ever. Yeah, the 6-month cycle penalty if you're moving, but yeah, you're gonna have to do that either way, even if you as long as you want to carry on your articles. Do trainees spend most of their time at Tuffias or at the client's office? That varies. We actually have a lot of conversations about that because we, my one colleague, she's always at a client, and I've been lucky enough to have clients working from the office. It really just varies. I've been fortunate that there's a client downstairs, so I mean, I went to the client, but I'm technically in the same building. Then we have clients in Pretoria, in Benoni, Midrand. We have everywhere. So it really just depends on what client you get assigned to. It's very random. It's not like we specify a specific person to go on a client. It's really just whoever's available for that week, and we need a trainee on the audit, you'll be assigned. That makes sense. So yeah. I've been fortunate enough to be at the client at the office because I actually live 10 minutes away. So I'm always hoping I'm at the office, but it's really just random. The application interview process, that's something Megan can answer because she's the recruiting agent. So she is the one who will actually, once you apply, she will then contact you for more further information. And then obviously go through all of the applications and contact the people that she finds are in line with our values and what we want, and then she'll contact you.
How we also with that is once we've had a look at your CV and all the attached documents, then I would invite you for a Teams interview with myself that is recorded. Once we get all the information back, I'll share that with the partners. And if you're successful during the first round, then I'll invite you to the office for a second interview.
Yeah. As I said, level of education, we've accepted undergrads, people who are doing their second, third year undergrads. Of course, we would prefer to kind of have someone doing their BCTA or CTA, because that we do take in a lot of people who are still studying BCTA and CTA. But if you're doing your third year and want to apply for the next year and study with us, then we also consider that. So there's not a specific level of education that we look at. It's really just, I believe Megan looks at a few things regarding information, values, and trying to see your CVs, your marks. It's a whole bunch of things. There is definitely, okay, sorry, go ahead, Megan.
Yeah, so I think we just look at an all-rounder. Maybe if you've done some leadership skills, if you've had a bit of CSR events or CSI events that you are busy with, we obviously look at marks a little bit. We do understand that, people sometimes have a few problems that they can't complete, but we look at the overall marks. So you may have had a bad year one year or bad semester, that won't disqualify you either. But as long as you're kind of consistent in your marks, that's what we look at as well.
Thanks. Is there a mid-year intakes joined a mid? So I'm actually a mid-year intake, so I started in June. So we take, I would say in the beginning in February, we take around 25 to 30. And then June, July, we take around 10 to, around 10 within June, July. So definitely we do take mid-year intakes. And sometimes even just, they'll suddenly appear one more in, I don't know, in September, October. So it's just some new months we see if we get any new faces appearing. But majority of the time it's February and June. Yeah. Any other questions? I hope I helped. I hope we I gave you a little bit more insight. As a actual trainee, it's I try and help and talk and about what I really wanted to hear when I was a student. So I hope I helped in that sense.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. I'm not sure if there are any other questions that anyone else would like to ask before we wrap up, or Megan, if there's anything more that you'd like to add from your side. You happy? Yeah, thanks for all your work in the chat there. Appreciate you answering all the questions. Thanks to everyone for bringing your questions and engaging. Thank you, Sarah and Megan, for being with us. We appreciate it, particularly given that this is not normal working hours for you on a Friday afternoon. Hope that you can go and enjoy your weekend now. Yeah, and thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming and chatting to our students, and we hope to hear from you again soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us, guys. Enjoy.